What's up, guys? It's your boys from Madden.com, and today I'm going to break down what I consider to be a very unknown defense, something that I really haven't seen ran this year, mainly because it's a modified coverage. I don't think people fully understand how it works, so I want to show that to you guys today. But before I get into the breakdown, just want to let you guys know that every single scheme on Madden.com is 50% off from now until Christmas night. So if you're interested in a new offense like Sybil's gun A slot that he used to get into the final 16 of the Madden Club Series, congrats to him, by the way. He ended up getting knocked out by Nick Hacko in the final 16, but he had an amazing run. And make sure you guys leave him some love in the comment section. But if you guys want that scheme, it's 50% off from now until Christmas, and any other scheme on the site as well. And the link to that will be in the description as well as the comment section. So let's get right into it. So we're going to be doing this out of nickel normal, but there's a few other formations in the game that you can do it out of. But the play is going to be cover for palms. And I mean, palms isn't a secret, but what we do with it kind of is, in a sense. So we're going to come out and cover 4 palms. We'll go against West Coast Gun Bunch to start. And I'm not going to completely go into a full breakdown of palms and quarters right now, because I have that in my Chiefs defensive ebook, and I don't want to include that content in this video. So if you guys really want full breakdowns on palms and quarters, that's in the Chiefs defense, and I break that down for like 45 minutes and really explain the rules of palms and quarters from a Madden standpoint as well as a real life X's and O's standpoint. So against Gun Bunch, what I usually like to do here is I like to just pinch my entire defense, so LB or L1, and then left stick down. That's going to pinch my D-line, pinch my linebackers. If I'm not already on him, he should be pinched. I'm going to stay on my defensive lineman for now. And what that's going to do is also pressure cornerbacks. So by nature, palms is kind of like a cover 2 in the sense of how aggressive those outside quarters play. They're almost like more like cloud flats than they are like actually, I don't want to say outside quarters, because I mean outside quarters do match in a cover 4 unless you're playing a drop, but palms is definitely like a cover 2. So what I've kind of come to realize is, since Madden hasn't programmed perfect logic yet in the safety quarters, or even sometimes the outside quarters, sometimes they'll even follow a flat route, which doesn't make any sense. That should be left to the quarter flat. And sometimes the outside quarter and the quarter flat will double team a flat route, which doesn't make sense. So that does happen sometimes. But my main point is, since they haven't programmed the perfect logic yet, we have to modify it a little bit. So let's go ahead and make it more like a cover 2. So let's do YY. It's going to open our secondary menu. We're going to hit Y for Earl Thomas. And we're going to do left stick up. That's going to put him in a deep half. YYA, left stick up. That's going to put him in a deep half. So what you're going to see is we now have a bunch of deep zones on the field. But don't worry, it's still a very good shell. The reason is those outside quarters are going to be playing more like flats. They're going to take away, deep corner routes and stuff. These deep halves are going to do a good job at really preventing any kind of deep throw. Now, the only thing from bunch really you have to worry about that's a deep throw is like a streak from the point receiver. You can maybe quick throw it or something. That's about it. That's about all you can do to really attack this deep, is like a streak or something. But at the same time, what we're going to be doing when we actually use this defense is we're going to be using the 3-rec, and we have to know the responsibilities of a 3-rec as well. So 3-rec simply means, you're really supposed to be walling off the number 3 receiver, which in this case is Kelsey. But at the same time, that does change post snap. So if for instance, Kelsey goes to the flats and Tyreek Hill, which is the point receiver, goes on a streak, then he's a new number 3, and you're supposed to carry him up to the safety. You have to know those things when you're playing the 3-rec, because if you're going to use a 3-rec, you better play like one. So let's go ahead and set this up. Let's just do a max protect, and then we'll do like something like this, and then we'll like motion him out. And what we're going to see is we're just going to wall him off, then come down. And the only thing there is the drag did get open eventually, but sometimes he will match him a little bit better than that. Let's go ahead and look at an instant replay. So the reason I like this shell over, like, let's say like a cover 2 man is because if this guy here isn't on a post, he isn't always going to match like this. So it's a more flexible thing than man coverage. But now that he is on a post and there's nothing else threatening him, he can just match, man up, and now he completely takes away that post on his own. I really wish this safety wouldn't be dropping like this. I wish he would actually kind of help out on the post more, because there's no reason this guy here should just be squeezing him. This guy realized that the drag's not his responsibility, so he just bails out, which that's correct. But really, it should be this guy one-on-one with Tyreek Hill, and this safety should not be dropping. Especially, he shouldn't be just dropping straight back. He should be like converging on Tyreek Hill, which is kind of annoying. And then this guy's left on an island for no reason. It really should be Earl Thomas helping out there. But regardless, that's the safest way you can play Palms, because there are route combinations that are going to actually bust the quarters if you leave them there. So you don't want to give up a one-play touchdown, and having the deep halves here is going to really prevent a one-play touchdown more often than not. Now, there's a few things you can do, like I've already said, like a streak from Tyreek Hill, but what you're going to see if I try to throw it is you're going to see you really have to quick throw it, like right there, but even our safety can really make a play on it. Earl Thomas has zoned out, so he's going to really kind of get there quickly. But that's really the main weakness. You can maybe attack it with a, like if we go to mesh post, a safety from the other side, but I still think that the outside quarter is going to actually match up with him very nicely and take him away. So let's go ahead and go to mesh post. We'll just go ahead and pinch our defense to the same shell we've been doing. We'll go ahead and go on a defensive lineman for now. And then what we're going to see, if we just go ahead and snap it here, is our outside quarter, he does get beat, but you know, he's pretty close. He gets beat badly originally and then he caught up, but let's go ahead and do it again. So mesh post might be something you have to be ready for, but as a 3-rec, you're really, like, for instance, when you're playing this guy, which is going to be the guy you're using because you don't want to touch anybody else, your responsibility is really like just dropping into this area every single time. Like literally every single time you just want to drop like right here. And then by the time you drop here, you're going to be able to tell if it's mesh post, and then you could take away that post route yourself if you really wanted to. But, you know, good bunch players have really good route combos, and they'll probably have like a hitch or something that you got to be mindful of. So you see how Marlon Humphrey really got there. Now, these are really good secondary guys. If you have a worse secondary, they won't be playing it quite this tight. But I guess my point is, you can just drop back like this and then boom, help out, come back down here, and really there's not much open. I mean, that drag does get open. It's just, I would say the main weakness of this coverage is pretty obvious, and it's the middle of the field. So really the main weakness I would say is short middle. So if you run like a mesh concept, which is what this play is, they have 2 drags, it's pretty tough to cover everything, because if you drop back to this side of the field and wall off the number 3 receiver who's going deep and pass it off to your safety, if there's 2 more short routes, like let's say there was a hitch here, and then maybe like, I wouldn't say a streak from the running back because this quarter flat will take it, but you really have a lot of ground to cover with this user. So you want him to be fast. I'll show it to you one more time. Like, there'll be the drag coming, like boom, oh crap, got to get to this one. Oh, the other drag is open, but at the same time, they might look off of him because the quarter flat is dropping to that side of the field, but then he ends up matching to the wheel. So like, as you can see at this point, like for instance, if a user's reading this, he's not going to be throwing to this drag, and he'll probably look off of him, and he's probably going to throw to the post. So I guess my main point is that that's a weakness, is like the short middle, because you have to really kind of pick. Hopefully one of your guys gets a shed, but this is kind of a brief overview of what I like to do with Palms nowadays. And I'll go to like other formations and you'll see that you really can use this shell on anything because it's such a safe and aggressive. It's both safe and aggressive against any formation. So we'll do like a concept, we'll do like medium pass or something. I'll just show you, we'll just do the same thing. I'll go on a defensive lineman. And you're gonna see what happens here is we are going to take away pretty much everything. This was actually a really good example of why I like cover 4 palms. And I'll show you an instant replay. So the reason I like it is because number one, it's flexible. You can, it's like obviously not straight up man. It just kind of takes away some of the most annoying routes in the game. Like, so like over here, it's like ISO. So this guy's actually going to just man up and he's going to take away the dig. And he plays really good coverage to the point where I really wouldn't consider that a viable throw. Like maybe a low ball could be a catch, but this guy's going to pretty much take away that flat route. This guy, he's dropping, and then he'll play the corner route, and he gets bracketed by this deep half because the deep half has nothing else to worry about. So that's just one example. So we'll do the same thing. Spread is interesting. I really probably wouldn't use this versus spread. But you can see pretty much everything's covered here too. I'll just keep doing it just to show you. I mean, it's good versus a lot of route combos and a lot of formations. It's just something that if you run nickel normal or, you know, big nickel over G or something, these are coverages you need to mix in. So right there, I really should have just kept going with the drag. But literally everything else was taken away. Nobody really passes out of this formation. So boom. Just like that, everything's taken away. I just love how good the man up is on the ISO side over here, or the backside post. It gets completely taken away. And those steep halves, they're not even in the play, but that's the point. Like, we want to have that extra insurance. We don't want these guys matching all the time, because if they're matching all the time, then your opponent's going to figure out how to bomb it, because there's just really good ways to exploit palms this year. The best players know the route combos that do so. So last rep. Oop, that's my fault. Should have stayed with the dig. But I'd say that's the main thing with when you're using the 3-rec, is just really making sure you know what you're doing with the 3-rec and making sure that you kind of understand the point of a 3-rec. So right here, this is like a really hard one to find the number 3 receiver, because it's just a 2x2, and then the number 3 is technically the running back. So whatever side the running back goes to, technically he'll be the number 3. So just go ahead and snap the ball, see what happens. Just wait for anything coming across the middle at this point, and then he's sacked. And it's just a really confusing defense to go against. So that's going to be it for the tip today. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did. If you want the full palms and quarters breakdown, that's going to be in the Chiefs defensive ebook that's on acemadden.com, and it goes over palms and quarters for like 40 minutes or so. And then everything else on the site's 50% off as well, so take advantage of that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.